What up? What up? What up? How y'all doing out there on this good Thursday evening?
Here we go.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, taking some time out of your day to come and let's chop it up a little bit. Hopefully the week has been good for everyone so far. Let us know where you're watching from.
Yes, please and thank you.
Yeah, hashtag live and where you watching from. Definitely want to know where you're watching from. Rep your city. Rep your city. I ain't one of the Cosbys and I ain't go to Hillman, but hey, I'm gonna rep it.
Yeah.
It's homecoming week for my high school. So and it's our 20-year class reunion, man.
That's definitely not what we're talking about tonight.
20 years.
Yeah, please.
That's a long time.
Don't make that a topic of the night. Thank you.
But I will say.
Happy Thursday. This has been a week for the record book, to say the least. I don't know what happened to me when I went out. I went to Alcorn last. Shout out to all the HBCUs out here in these streets.
They say Alcorn, the air's a little cleaner and the water's a little sweeter.
I don't know what happened out there, but we call ourselves tailgating last weekend at Alcorn, and I don't really know if that's the problem or if it's something that I'm eating with this new diet or lifestyle, I should say, lifestyle change. But I've been waking up with swollen eyes every day,
and it's not because of me. I had nothing to do with
it. Since we left like Alcorn, that's what I'm saying at this point. I'm not saying Alcorn caused it, but I am saying I think that I was out there in them trees and in the woods, and
it just happened to.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. It could be the mushrooms, the jackfruit. I'm trying to get down to it, but if any of y'all got some home remedies, man, for allergies, I'm all ears, because I don't want to take any of these meds that the doctor just prescribed for me today.
And it's a lot of them.
I would much rather. My mama say ASU was not the problem.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just know that I haven't had a regular morning since I left. So
at all.
Again, if you got some home remedies for me, y'all, inbox them to me, man. Put them in the comments or something like that. I got some peppermint tea with some honey in there right now. Just trying to make sure that I'm getting back together like I should be. But as of now, I'm waking up with literally 2 swollen eyes every morning. And once they deflate, I start my day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm hoping we can get over this.
Like it's only so much cold.
Rodney said I could take some zinc and vitamin C. Okay, I'll up my dosage on the vitamin C. I don't have any zinc, but
I don't know where you can get zinc. You can get it from a penny or something. Like it's zinc. Nah.
You probably went to Hillman, didn't you?
Yeah.
You went to Hillman.
I did, man.
Yeah, clearly.
No, not at all.
Clearly went to Hillman. Man, all right. Okay. I know Lamar usually goes down a rabbit hole of nothingness with this Farrell situation, but I have one.
All right, talk about it. Let me see.
So I did go to the doctor today. Okay. Because again, I'm waking up with swollen eyes every single day. They're a little itchy. I don't have a pink eye. They tested me for COVID. Did some x-rays in my chest just to make sure I didn't have any type of respiratory something going on. So I'm narrowing it down to either something that I am eating or something that happened out at Alcorn this past weekend.
Okay. I'm so interested to know what this finna be.
So I go to the doctor's appointment.
Okay.
First of all, so before they do the X-ray, I well, I'm not gonna go there. I'll clear that part off. Erase that. Just go to this part.
Okay.
I'm leaving out of the doctor's appointment, so I have to go to the receptionist desk to check out.
Mm-hmm.
And I have on this shirt. All right. So I get to the desk and the lady has like these big happy eyes as she's greeting me. And she's like, "Oh, you went to Hillman. That's so cool. I went to JSU."
No, she didn't, did she?
I'm trying not to cry.
No, she didn't, did she?
I'm trying not to cry laughing because
she legit, she felt like, like, man, you went to JSU.
Well, I did too, so
I'm just saying, really, does she look like everybody else? The majority of the people that went to JSU?
I'm not really certain because
I didn't go there that long. She don't know what the college.
But anyway,
she don't know what.
But the lady seemed like she was so happy to see somebody that had went to Hillman, so I didn't correct her.
Yeah,
I did.
I think you filed for not correcting it, man. I think you filed for not correcting it.
I didn't say nothing. So she's.
I really think you filed for not correcting it.
I was just like, HBCU, who's in the house?
Strong. You throw the black fist, did you?
I didn't. I'm trying not to cry through this, but
you crying? Happening. The water's coming.
Oh man. So
wow. I think she filed for not correcting it. What y'all think? You tell me. I just feel like she should have, enlightened her sister.
You know the scene on Coming to America with Eddie Murphy they was at the baseball game and the guy recognized him or whatever.
The basketball game. Yeah.
Yeah, the basketball game. And the guy recognized him, and he was like,
right.
Oh my God.
Yeah. ET's.
I kind of felt like that was happening. And so I did not want to ruin this lady's moment at this time. But I ain't gonna lie. When I got back in the car, I was so tickled.
You done left that sister out there to hang, man. You got to help, man. You got to
listen. If you don't know that Hillman is not first of all,
apparently she don't.
First of all, I also didn't know that Hillman College was actually a college in in Clinton, Mississippi.
Okay.
In the late 1800s, and they closed like around the 1940s. Okay. It was an all women's college. Now I don't know if it was an all black women's college or like what it was, but she said she gonna realize 3 years from now.
AB, I think it is her duty. One sister to another to say, hey, this is really just
So you saying it was foul?
I think it was foul on your part.
I don't think so. Yeah. I think because here's the thing, because she went into saying like, yeah, I went to Jackson State. I graduated and everything. And then she kind of looked down. She was typing and she had like this smile on her face, like she was remembering moments from college. And I wasn't trying to make this a bad moment. I just felt like, okay, cool. It wasn't gonna hurt nobody.
Not today.
It's never okay.
She go to a reunion and be like, I saw this lady in at the office that went to Hillman.
No,
and they gonna be
that is not going to happen.
I'm telling you, she gonna get in an argument saying Hillman is a college. Well,
it is.
Went to Hillman.
It was a college. It was a real college at one point.
But you don't look like you was born in 1800, so she gonna think that it's still relevant.
Thank you. I never said that I went to Hillman. I just said HBCUs and
hold on, HBCUs
because I went to a HBCU.
You did. That's why the conversation could have continued.
No, but you didn't need to because I needed to get away from that conversation because I was uncomfortable with having to, let
Crystal
her know that
uncomfortable.
Listen,
Crystal, she wasn't feeling good.
All right, man.
She wasn't feeling good.
I was ready to get up out of that doctor's office. I mean, at any given time, I had already tested negative for COVID. Somebody could have walked in there positive for COVID and messed up my situation. So I was trying to get out of there, but I didn't lie. I never said that I did.
All right.
And I never said
that you didn't.
That I didn't.
Okay. Well, hey.
I didn't, but I did go to a HBCU.
You did. Now you could have said that.
So
that's why you said HBCU strong. That's what you said. HBCU
in the house.
In the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe this. Crystal
If she watched this podcast, Lord
Crystal
Jesus,
in the gray
help.
right now, man.
I don't think it was
that.
great. I just didn't. I didn't respond to that comment.
Okay.
I just leaped right on over it.
Okay.
Hey, I don't watch enough episodes of A Different World. I done attended it. I done had at least one semester.
At least one. You done went to a few classes.
So okay. Am I foul?
Yeah. Do y'all think?
Am I foul? Would you have been able to correct her?
Yeah. Would you have said?
Because
something?
I don't think that, I don't really think that was necessary. Really.
Well, I had somebody ask me one time, like I wore this sweatshirt somewhere, and they was like, "Hey, where's him in college?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's
on
off
TV.
of a sitcom, type deal." And it was somebody that didn't quite look like me, and I'm trying to explain what A Different World is. I even Googled it to show them.
Oh gosh,
the Wayne,
see, look at all that you had to go through. All of that you had to go through only to tell somebody
different steps, because that person wasn't necessarily culturally familiar with A Different World.
I just don't think that this lady had other work she probably needed to be getting done.
I'm sure she did, but she found the time to, HBCU strong.
All right, well, maybe I'm fine. We'll see what the people have to
y'all
say
let
about
us know
it.
what y'all think. If y'all would have corrected her, put a 1 in the chat if you would have corrected her too. If you think it was fine.
If I have to, man, I'll go back up there tomorrow and just tell the lady.
It's too late now. I don't think I'll do that, but I don't know. I don't think I go that far.
That's what Tony Mobley said, man. Send me the address and the name of your doctor. I'm going back up there to correct this right now, because this is just not right.
Hey, for real, man. This is.
Hey, Elwood said this happens to him all the time. He said he don't have the heart to tell people either.
Man, I'll just be like, hey, this was kind of, it was a historical black college and university, but it closed down, and it was in Mississippi. Closed down for whatever.
You wouldn't have. That is not the explanation that you would use, and that's not why we wear these t-shirts.
That you inform me on it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't go there for my sake. Yeah. Next time I'm gonna tell whoever asks me when I wear one of these shirts, because I got 2-3 of them.
Yeah.
So next time I wear one of these shirts, I'm gonna tell the people it's not real. Okay. I just feel like, man, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like, wearing a Little Mermaid shirt and somebody be like, oh, I went to school. What am I supposed to say? It was uncomfortable.
Listen, I don't know.
Okay.
Here's what I do know. I didn't go to Hillman, but the school that I did go to didn't really help me a lot. And I'm realizing that now that I have kids. Being a dad is probably one of the most insightful and happiest things that I can do.
Jesus.
But I realized that man, I'm helping my daughter like with her spelling words. And I am literally having to focus, because she's in 3rd grade. So I know she's sounding these words out, right? She's sounding them out. And I'm up here, screet.
This is so
I'm
sad.
trying to say street, but I'm saying screet or strawberry, or something along those lines. I'm like, hold on, man. I am really doing my daughter a disadvantage here.
Absolutely. For her to have to stop you in the middle of pronouncing the word to ask you what does this sentence even mean? The word was floss. And Lemoyne said something to the degree of Lemoyne will floss his shoes on the first day of school.
No, I said Kirsten is flossing, flosses her shoes.
Okay.
She flosses her shoes, like she's showing them off.
She don't know what that means. And I know for certain that the school that she is attending did not use floss that way.
Hey.
In a sentence. I'm on the sofa like this.
Hey.
We pay too much.
I said what I thought was
for him to go through there, and I'm talking about flat face, jack this whole spelling bee up.
Hey, you knew what I was talking about.
Is flossing her shoes.
Flosses. It was with an ES.
It don't matter. That wasn't even the spelling word. The word was floss.
It was flosses.
So then why didn't you say something about flossing teeth or something?
Man, because it just didn't, that's what came to mind. Flossing
no, they don't.
Shoes,
no, they do not need to learn that. First of all,
you know what I'm saying? That's what I was like.
Kirsten literally says, "What does that mean?" So I'm on the sofa like, Yeah.
Hey.
What does that mean?
I was trying to
I
be
said,
creative.
man, that is not how you should be helping her to learn
Man,
these
listen,
words. Meanwhile, Kirsten is like, well, I don't understand. What do you? I know, baby. And now,
Hey.
not only are you risking not spelling the word right, now you completely confused about the context of how it should be used.
Webster be having two different definitions on stuff.
They're not using
Ebonics. You
Ebonics.
know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man. They're using the Urban Dictionary.
All right, great.
They should use the Urban Dictionary. Slang is now becoming a part of the common language.
What I'm saying is,
I'm telling you, I was just trying to be creative and using it in a sentence. I didn't have to be creative. I didn't have to even use it in a sentence. I was just trying to.
No, you didn't. But you could have used the sentence of which she was familiar with, because you almost 40. So using the word flossing some clothes or shoes or whatever for us ain't the same to a kid that just made 8.
Baby.
They not using flossing.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Look, I'm trying to be the best dad I can be. I'm trying to be the best dad I can be.
Kirsten flosses her teeth at night.
Well,
probably could have worked out quite well.
It maybe.
This man says Kirsten flosses her new shoes.
Hey, you knew what I meant.
I did.
You knew exactly.
But I'm not the student in this matter.
You're not.
Our child is, of which she responded. What does that mean? She didn't go to write down the word flosses. She is now totally confused.
It was an educational moment. It was an educational moment. Okay. Every moment is an educational moment, right? And what I'm realizing is, again, this is making me be more focused on stuff. I felt real slow the other day, man. I'm helping my daughter with her math homework. It was Kirsten again, and it says round to the nearest 100. Well, the nearest 100, it had 50. 50 was the number that it was on, and it said round to the nearest 100. And I was like, okay, does that go up? You know what I'm saying? Or down? It's at 50. It's in the middle, right? You know, and you're right. Hey, she go teach the kids something tomorrow. She go and be like, hey, yeah, that she's gonna use it in a sentence.
I'm gonna take this opportunity to not be foul.
Okay.
Go ahead. On that same day that she had that math homework, she brought that paper to me. And I looked at that paper and said, you're going to need to take this to your daddy.
Okay. Okay. I thought you listen.
I'm not about the homework life. I don't have time. I done went to school. I done did that. And so she brought that to me.
She didn't tell me that.
And it was 5 blanks on there. And I said, I know what the first 2 blanks supposed to be, but I'm not really trying to figure out what these other 3 blanks is. So my initial response was, baby, you're not gonna even need to use these. You're not. But I didn't say that. I said, you're gonna need to take this to your daddy. And I went on and finished cooking because I just wasn't even about to be bothered to that level. But I see that you struggled through. Congratulations.
I didn't struggle through. I just was like, man, it's making me feel a little slow because I'm like, well, it's, what is the nearest 100? Is it?
It's because in real life you don't have to use it, and therefore it is far, 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 far away from your memory.
What is it? It's 50. Like, what is the nearest 100? I would have thought it was.
If I wanted to figure that out, I would have solved the problem on our homework. I don't know.
So I was a little slow. I
don't feel slow. It's third grade homework.
It is.
I'm an adult, so I shouldn't need to know how to do that.
Okay. Well, hey.
Cheers to that. I'm going back to my tea.
What I will say is, speaking of which, I think that it is important to get to our topic for the evening.
Hey.
Which is, when we're doing stuff like that, I'm thinking about how am I pronouncing my words? My how do you say it? What's the word I'm looking for? Like the pronunciation of it, but it's something else. You
talking about how you enunciate words?
Yeah, enunciate, and then it's the phonetic. What is it? Phonetic sound or something like that? What is it? Yeah. So I'm having to focus on that more when I'm going over these spelling words with her. But it's hard to train somebody on something you don't know how to do.
It's true.
It's hard to train somebody on something you don't know how to do. But one example that I think we're seeing in real time today is Coach Prime with Colorado. I don't know who would have ever thought, who on this that's watching this on this live stream would have ever thought that you would be up to 11, 12 o'clock at night watching a Colorado game.
It was 2 a.m. our time.
Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that? You know what I mean? Like, who would have thought that? But this man has reinvented himself. He come from playing Major League Baseball, professional football, playing 2 games in the same day, hitting home runs and scoring in the same day, on interceptions or punt returns. This man is reinventing himself from being a Hall of Fame football player to ESPN analyst to running Little League to now, going from HBCU, Jackson State, not Hillman, to Colorado. You know what I'm saying? But what I want to point out, is in each one of those arenas, it seems like he created his own economy. You know what I mean? Like everything around him seemed to feed off of what he did or what he was doing. Right? He created his own atmosphere that is now like it's not affecting him. It's affecting everybody around him. And when you really think about it, it's like, what are we doing? Like, how can I, and I ain't saying from a monetary perspective, but when people are around me from a business perspective, when people are around me from a family perspective, how do I affect them? Is it better? Is it worse? You know what I mean? Like, I think everybody in Colorado, just like in Jackson, I think that they were super stoked about having him around. I'm talking about from the person that's hustling t-shirts, the person that's selling parking spaces, to the hotels, to the man that's selling hot dogs, to the tickets, the whole nine, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody eating. You know what I'm saying? This man wear a pair of shades, and
last I checked, he was at 4.6.
You see what I'm saying? So
4.6
like
million.
Tell me, like, that makes me think about it. Like, man, am I creating my own economic system? Am I creating my own little ecosystem or own economic drive? And how if I'm not, how can I?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's just like if Warren Buffett go out and buy some stock right now, that stock is gonna go up just because it's Warren Buffett that bought it. Because everybody else is gonna follow him, right? He's the whale, as they call it, like the big fish. He's the whale. So if he buys the stock, guess what? Everybody else go buy it. They go look at it. It ain't got to be a good stock, but it's gonna be artificially inflated because of intellectual exuberance and excitement that's behind. Oh, this man bought it because he's a tycoon. Right? It must be something behind it without them even doing research. They're gonna go out and buy it.
Well, I mean, it's just so much to unpack. About Coach Prime.
Yeah, y'all drop Prime in the comments. If y'all on this team, I'm gonna get me a Colorado shirt or something. Y'all drop Prime in the comments. I don't know if
I'll get a Prime shirt, but I mean, that's why I wanted to talk about the Prime example tonight, because I just think that there are several layers, I think, to this guy.
Yeah.
And for me, what really stands out is the leadership qualities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like he is like an absolutely phenomenal leader.
Agreed.
But not just to his team, but I'm really seeing this like what he's doing as a dad, and his sons are there, with him on the sideline. And I had watched a video the other day where he was saying, what's the one that's the quarterback?
Shedeur, yeah.
Yeah. So before the game, he says, when we walk down, it's me and my son. I'm talking to my son. I'm hyping my son up. And so he's affirming him the whole way down. He's affirming him all the way down. And then when they get to the end zone and they turn around, he says, then I'm Coach Prime. And so now I'm coaching them on how we need to, perform in this game.
Wow.
And I just say, man, this is, this is some intentionality that I have never experienced before. But what I also thought was so cool is that when they go down, they walking down the field, and when they turn around, he then puts his son to the inside.
It's just something about that.
And that was an extra layer of protection there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was another layer of fatherhood that he was presenting there. But I mean, this guy has practiced so much that everything that he's doing that now we're noticing because the camera is there. This is stuff that he's been doing when nobody was watching.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These are things, qualities that he's been building for decades, where the camera wasn't necessarily just in his face to that degree.
Yeah.
But now we see it, you know what I'm saying? And it's magnified now. Now it looks like, you know what I'm saying, something amazing, and glorious in the moment.
Right.
But I think that that's what's, super cool about it, is that he's not doing this because the cameras are on. Like, you can't fake that when you turn and you realize, okay, my son, the quarterback is to the outside, and I know people are practicing out on this field. Let me put him to the inside. You can't just make that up because the cameras are on. These are qualities that he has inside of him that we're getting to see because he's practiced this for so long.
I think it's even more interesting that he and look, he could very well be in the coaching game because his boys are a part of it, right? And he like, hey, as a father, I want to create an atmosphere that I know is going to give my boys the best opportunity to succeed. You know what I mean? Like that could very well be. And some people may say that's a selfish motive, you know, but I promise, even if it is, everybody around them still benefit. But I just think about what environment can I create
for my kids
that allows me to shepherd my kids in the environment. I think about it with people that are attorneys and they bring their kids on as lawyers once they finish school or whatnot. Hey, I'm gonna shepherd you on through this.
Nah, it's Robinson and Robinson.
Exactly, you know exactly. Other insurance agencies or construction companies, whatever it may be. But it's like, what am I doing that I can shepherd my kids through? You know what I'm saying?
I think about that. That's why, you know, we're super intentional when the girls are with us at the different businesses. You know, we're allowing them to participate in some type of way because we understand, you know, it's important not only to let them be inside of that environment and experience it, but to also, you know, show them the qualities that they're going to need in, you know, in the event that they decide, you know, to become business owners. Like we're cultivating that in them now. But, you know, the sacrifices that we made even prior to them being here led to that opportunity for them. You know what I'm saying? Which is obviously the blueprint that he laid out as well. You know what I'm saying? Being a athlete, you know, this guy didn't just stop at, you know, being a great athlete in football. He took it. And
that's the thing, like that's another key point, you know, right? He was already a superstar as it was, right? You could be, you know, I was already sweet in banking as it was, you know what I mean? Like all in what I was doing, when you think about it, Crystal was already pretty good as it relates to a financial component in the government sector as it was. You know what I mean? But what happens when you stop there? You know what I'm saying? And not go that extra layer to say, okay, well, look, what does it look like if I do this part of it? Or what does it look like if now I become a coach or a mentor on this phase of it, right? To learn a little bit more about it so that now I can not only possess that knowledge, but be able to pass it along, right? To create a different atmosphere. So he was good on the field as it was. And I would assume his money was already straight because, you know, I mean, he prime, you know what I'm saying? It's Coach Prime. But at the end of the day, I'm like, man, it's nothing this guy can say. Like any statement that this dude make money.
Yeah.
We coming. We here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, what it did, I believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about a statement that now is becoming staples in people's lives. These are becoming mantras, you know what I'm saying, that people are clinging to.
Yeah, he's trademarked a couple of them now. Patent, I think he put he's got some trademarks and patents out on some of those statements.
And it ain't just our community. It ain't just people of color.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's around the board, man. It doesn't matter. And the thing is, people don't mind paying him because when he come there, I mean, think about the revenue that they bringing in.
Yeah, I don't really think that it's always about the, you know, the revenue piece of it though. I think it's what he represents. You know, that whole, you know, statement behind or the belief behind I believe.
Yeah.
You know, I really think that he's bringing that with him.
I believe,
you know,
absolutely.
Even though, don't get me wrong, I think that the dollars are definitely a factor.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, what he represents, it shows up. And people, you know what I'm saying? People appreciate that. People want to follow behind that. I mean, this whole bandwagon thing, you got folks that literally, if I legit have to think about it hard, I don't really know where Colorado even located it on the map. Like, I don't know where the state is at. Okay. I hadn't had to use that since whatever grade I was in when they made us memorize the map. Don't know where it's at.
Okay.
But I still watch the games.
Yeah.
Because I believe. I'm watching to make sure that he keep a 0 on the loss side.
Man, I'm watching.
I'm watching because I believe in what it is that he said that he's trying to do for whatever program it is that he's a part of. But I'm watching because I see these leadership qualities, and I'm like, man, let me study that because I know that what he's doing, I can translate that into any business that we have. I could translate into building and developing my team. I could translate that into being a better mom, and coach for my daughters. Like all of this stuff. This is a prime example. Right. And I think that we shouldn't just let it, go and just say, oh, I'm about to, get on the Coach Prime bandwagon, but more so pick apart the qualities, right? That we can actually utilize because clearly it's working, right?
100%. No, I mean, and when you're saying that, another prime example that comes to mind, no pun intended, but another prime example was I watched his interview on 60 Minutes. Yeah, it was like 15 minutes long or something like that. But one of the things that he said in there was like, they criticized him a little bit or asked him, do you think it's harsh that you can't come in on day one and you say, hey, I encourage you to enter the transfer portal? You know what I'm saying? I
love that.
I want you to get in the transfer portal. I need you to do that because hey, we about to build something.
Yeah.
We coming. And he says, no, because if my words run you off, do I think it's harsh? Nah. If my son called me and tell me that my coach is encouraging me to enter the transfer portal, I'm going to say you must not be doing what you're supposed to do. Like you must not be working must not be good enough. But he said, listen, if my words run them off, then they not for me.
Then they should be gone.
They not for me.
I love
a lot of
man.
times, I know me personally.
I love
man. I done held on to some stuff that I knew wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like listen. He set the standard.
Yeah.
He set the standard, and he wasn't flexing on it. He said, "Hey, this ain't. If my words run you off, then the work goes surely run you off."
Absolutely,
so
and that speaks to standard, right?
In general,
standard and expectations. And
but he wasn't afraid to let them people go.
No,
because he knew on the other side.
I'm bringing in a winning team.
I'm gonna build what I want to build, and that was the part. I'm like, man, like what are you? Oh, golly, this. And he said, listen, you got to understand the mindset of these kids. The coaches that brought them in went 1-10.
They was losing.
They went 1-10. So you got to understand
and they picked them kids.
And they picked these kids. Like what does that look like? They coach these kids. They didn't already, put their stamp on some of these kids. Right. So hey, what does this look like? And but we go listen. If you got any doubt in your mind, we go pull it out of you. And it's either go rise to the top and you go get rid of it, or it's go rise to the top and you go hold on to it and say, you know what, this ain't for me.
I just thought that was one of the most amazing interviews ever, because when I see stuff like that, again, I'm pulling the leadership qualities from it. I'm mirroring it to what it is that we do in business, and I'm thinking about it, right? So if we purchase a business, what I'm saying, and it already has a team, but we purchased the business because it was failing, do we go in there with the same team talking about where they already know the systems? No, they already know the failing systems.
They know the failing systems.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And so why would you want to keep the team there? And I'm like, there's so many people that would walk into a situation like that and say something like, well, I don't want to clean house because then I ain't gonna have no team.
Ain't go exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
They making a decision.
I don't want to pull everybody out and then I not be able to rebuild before the season starts. Right. You know what I'm saying? You look at all of the negative factors, and I just think about how that is in business. It's like if you walk in and you say, all right, this is a new year, we set a new standards, we got new goals, whatever, and you got your same old team there trying to do that. Ain't no way, because they so set into their old ways of what it is that they're wanting to do. Right. There is no way they're gonna want to flip over and say, "Oh, you're right. Let's go and build $1 million business this year." No, you really have to be able to set. And if it's a small few that want to continue on to the journey, right, great. But they have to understand that the old systems are gone.
It's done.
The old systems are out of here, and we got to build on a new and firm foundation. That's why I was like, man, this interview is
rich, man.
Because I'm like, as a business owner, you got to be able to hone in on that. Like, okay, well, how can I grow and develop my team? Clean up.
Exactly.
Clean up, put new systems in place so that, it'll weed out the folks, hold people accountable, because then it'll weed out the folks that don't want to participate in accountability, set new rules and processes. And then the people that don't want to follow them, next thing you know, my season is up.
Exactly. And even from a family perspective, man, I mean, it's some families out here that just been really that just hadn't been successful, like from having great relationships, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, but how do you overcome that? You create new systems and you stop playing by that system, right?
Yeah.
And create a new one.
So much
right.
meat on the bone.
Put something else in place and start something new. But you got to be willing to be okay with losing what you have.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because what you have, it could be cancerous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It could be toxic to everything else that's around you. They say one monkey don't stop no show, but one rotten apple will spoil the whole bunch. You know what I'm saying?
And that's exactly what he was saying in that. It's like, look, the fact that many people left, it just shows you that the mentality there is what was causing them to lose. You know what I'm saying? Because there is no guarantee that they weren't physically capable of doing the job.
Absolutely.
They weren't mentally capable of putting in the work.
But like he said, he didn't even say, well, look, let me pick out the fastest. Let me pick out the strongest.
Y'all just need to go ahead and enter the portal.
I'm letting you know. I'm letting you know this is what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's just that. Point blank, period. You're right. Hey, B, it is hard to give up family if we don't understand the value of what's on the other side of it.
Yeah,
it's hard. It really is. It's challenging, right? Because that's a lot of undoing. But
it depends on what you value.
Exactly. It's what you know. Is what
I would much rather value, what it is that I'm going after versus what it is that I know. You know what I'm saying?
That I'm holding on to.
Especially when you know that it's a strain. You know what I'm saying? That it's something that's pulling you back or causing you stress or turmoil in any type of way. Like that ain't hard for me to let go. No. You know what I'm saying? Something that's causing me that level of distress. It's not hard for me. It's much easier for me to go away from that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I see the statement. I understand it. But it's not hard if you want to get away from that. It should be one of the easiest decisions that you can make. It's like, I mean, I don't think that it was hard for Deion to walk in that room and say, I think y'all should go in the transfer portal. Not knowing if he was going to have enough men to hit the field on game day one.
It's going to be, you know what I'm saying? But it made me think about the Bible story where God told somebody to go and like kill everything in the city.
Yeah.
Like kill everything. Like don't let nothing live. You know what I'm saying? And the guy, he go down
there.
He
come back asking for numbers.
He come down, he kill everything, but then he was like, well, hey, I saved the best calf or the best cow for you. You know what I'm saying? I did this. I saved this part of the, this from the city or whatever. And he's like, hey man, what you doing? Like I ain't tell you, you know what I'm saying, to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? And then God got mad with him because he just didn't do what he told him to do. And it's like, hey, he thought he was saving the best. But he said get rid of it all, man. And that's the thing. Like the standard is the
mindset,
standard.
man.
Like if you can't hold the line, and if my words run you off, I don't care how fast you are. I don't care how much you can catch. I don't care how much business you write for me.
Will ruin your team because of their attitude.
Exactly. I don't care.
And that dude to come up in here, man, he trying to change everything, man. Yeah. He the fastest one on the team now.
Be okay with letting it go,
but his mouth running.
Be okay with letting it go. That's what, because again, team, I don't care how much business you write for me. I don't care how much business you write for me. I don't care how many sales you make. I don't care how good you fix the car. If you are cancerous to the overall arching objective of the mission,
then you shouldn't be there.
You shouldn't be there.
It shouldn't be there.
And as leaders and becoming leaders, as leaders of our families, as leaders of business, as leaders in general, we got to be okay with making them decisions.
Yeah.
Right. But we got to be strong enough to know what our overall objective is. We ain't letting you go to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? We ain't letting you go to hurt you. We ain't letting, this ain't personal. This is you're just not the good fit for my overall objective.
Yeah. You might fit in somebody else's system a whole lot better. But when, that's why I talked about the other week, when you gotta set standards and expectations and you ain't folding on those, then it looks like this program that he's building right now.
Exactly.
I don't think that he could have been wavy or shaky in any matter and walked in there and said what he said, and them guys believed him enough to lead the organization.
Yeah.
He believed without a shadow of a doubt, if I can get rid of y'all, I can build a program that I need.
Absolutely.
And that's what we have to know, you know what I'm saying, when we're moving forward in business and, there's a new challenge, set up in front of us. Hey, I believe without a shadow of a doubt, this can get done.
Exactly.
I was training a new team member the other day, and I forgot to tell you, dude said, he was like, man, you must be like a motivational speaker or something like that. Like I say, oh, well, you know.
Tell him he just don't know what he's getting for free right now. He
You
just
know.
don't know.
So
He just don't know.
So he says, I said, I'm training him on the phones. And I said, listen, man, being on the phones is just having a conversation. I said the difficulty for most people when they sit in the seat to answer the phones is they forget that they already have this special set of skills.
Yeah.
They forget that they already have conversations every single day.
Every day.
You pick up the phone, you answer the phone all the time, and it's a number that's not saved in your phone. What you say? You say hello.
That's it.
You trying to figure out who's on the other end.
Let's get a salutation.
You know, but I'm like, I said, you know what? It don't matter who answers the phone up in here. I said, the reason why y'all all think that I'm sweet on the phone is because of my belief. That's exactly what I told him. The same thing that Deion Sanders is doing everywhere he goes. I said, I believe that the person that I'm talking to on this phone wants to meet me at some point today. I said, every time I answer the phone, I believe they want to come meet Crystal.
I ain't bashful about that. I ain't bagging in the door with that.
I'm not. I said, so when I answer the phone, I have full expectation that I'm going to see this person today.
Yeah.
I don't answer the phone shaky thinking, oh my God, are they going to come here?
Right.
Are they going to set an appointment? Are they going to know that I'm brand new? I ain't got time for that. I said, when I answer the phone, I believe that this person is going to walk through this door today. I said, that's the only difference between me and anybody else that sits in this seat is your belief.
Yeah.
I said, because you know how to answer a phone.
You do. You've been answering them for a while.
You know how to ask questions. I said, I just know a few skills. First of all, I got belief. I said, the second thing I know is how to ask questions. Because I already know the person that asks the most questions win the conversation.
You're right. I'm a professional information gatherer.
I'm a professional information gatherer. So this dude is just looking at me like he is wild out. And I'm like, this is what I do. It's just a level of belief, you know what I'm saying? Which is why I'm like, I'm watching every interview that Deion is doing because I am borrowing his belief. Because I'm like, I know I believe. I ain't talking about in no Colorado or no Jackson State or nothing. I believe in me.
Right.
So if I could pull from that man's belief and take it where I go, man.
But and the thing is, man, his belief is all rooted in like, hey, I know what God said about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what this is. This man said that he was like, man, listen, I was at the top of my game and was suicidal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was at the top of my game. I'm winning Super Bowls, playing in World Series, making money out the hand of a fish. And I'm in my condo wondering, man, I'm about to take all these pills. I'm taking it. He said he popped a bottle of pills on the bench on the baseball game because he literally crying for help, but because he the man, you ain't crying. You ain't man, can you help me? But he wants somebody to say, man, what you doing? What you got going on there? But he stems all of his stuff back right to his relationship with the Creator, his relationship with God. And I'm like, man, so he walks in a confidence. He walks in a way that's like, I really ain't really tripping on what you got to say about me because, you know, this ain't about you. This is about me and my assignment.
Why does your opinion matter when you ain't the one that made me?
When you ain't the one that made me. This ain't about you. This is about me and my assignment.
So much to unpack with that guy, man. I just be thinking, like, why do people have such, you know, a high level of care for what other people have to say?
Because they ain't about their assignment. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Well, people make comments and stuff because they ain't about their business. They ain't about their assignment. But I don't even
care though. I'm just saying what other people have to say has absolutely, you know what I'm saying, no merit on my assignment, my purpose, my gifts.
It don't from that perspective, but from a hearing it in your ear and in a perception perspective, if you're not mentally strong enough, it will.
I get that, but I'm saying it's important that we build that level of mental fortitude because at the end of the day, what you or anybody else have to say about me, as long as I'm, you know, walking on the straight and narrow, I'm not doing anything obviously that is, you know, that is wrong or against God. I'm just trying to figure out why does, you know, other people's opinions matter that much. You know what I'm saying? It's like we've just totally lost focus. And this dude is like, look, I'm zoned in. Y'all can say what you want to say. You can do what you want to do. I'm gonna flip all of that. Right. All of that gonna come back in my face.
Because I legit, even with the legit. When the guy said that about his mama and all that stuff, or whatever, about, you know, somebody raised
brought his mama to the pregame show.
Man, that I'm talking about, he done flipped it. But even when it was like, man, he left Jackson State, you know what I'm saying? He fall in the bag and all this and that. I'm like, he said, I finished my obligation there.
Right.
I finished. Like I didn't leave before the season was over. I left the night of the championship. Don't get me wrong, but just because everybody don't have
when my assignment was done.
Yeah, just because everybody ain't got a private jet to get them to Colorado that night to come out with the big coat on and everything don't mean nothing. But
I respect it, man. I really
respect
do. I just think that, it is so much to learn from this guy. I'm not saying whether you're a football fan or not, to be honest, I don't even care to watch college football. And this guy
that's my bad. That's the favorite.
I know you always say that. I don't even watch it. Usually I take the NFL, Sunday time to take naps. So I'm not really, like I like sports, and I'll watch it, once it gets a little closer and a little bit more competitive. But I'm sitting here every week watching Colorado football. Because I want to see the result of the efforts that this guy's putting in. You know what I'm saying? I want to see this all the way through. Like that's the level of belief that this guy is carrying, that now, you know what I'm saying, the tickets then, gotten to almost quadruple to what they was,
for
you
the
know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm like, man, are you leading your team, you know what I'm saying, your business, your family in that way? Do you have that much, belief in whatever it is that you're doing and creating and developing? Can you look back and say, yep, I'm building a legacy like that of my own? Because, if we look at Prime as the example, I'm saying what pieces and parts of that, you know what I'm saying, can we use in our everyday life, right? Not to mimic him per se, but, what qualities can we put in use for ourselves, right? Like what qualities can we pull, his leadership qualities, his fatherhood qualities, right? His businessman qualities. Like if you look at all of these pieces and parts, there should be at least one thing from each of those categories that you can be able to pick and pull and say, you know what, I'm gonna implement that in my business. I'm gonna implement that, with my kids, right? I'm gonna implement that in my standards, or my standards of living. Like just think about that, because this ain't, we're witnessing something clearly that I've never seen before. I don't think that this is something that happens all the time. No. But for us to be able to watch this unfold and just see how smoothly, I don't know what their season gonna look like for the rest of the year, and I'm really not concerned about that per se. I'm really more so trying to see what other business moves that he is going to create out of the next statement or conversation. You know what I'm saying? What other endorsements are going to be open for his kids because of what he's doing right now? Like his Shedeur driving the Maybach. Maybach is now sponsoring this dude. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking
the whole watch movement.
So like, how can we create those same types of opportunities for our girls?
Right, exactly.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Now I'm looking like, okay, well, if Kirsten's gonna do gymnastics, what opportunities, right, can I create for her? Right? If Caitlin is going to do volleyball, what opportunities can I create for her? Right? Inside of the the different businesses that we have, what opportunities can we create for them? 100%. Inside of those, and then how can we cultivate them as a mom, as a dad, right? How can we reinforce all of that, inside of one bubble? Right. I'm like, man, there's just so many different.
It really is, man. But that's what I'm saying. He creating his own economy. Man. Everybody inside of that whole atmosphere.
His other son is the videographer. He videoing this whole
all of it. He
so now
the whole
new
thing.
Docu-series, of course, is about to come out
and
with them.
Get paid for that
for Colorado. Exactly. I'm like, everybody in this.
We listen. He putting family on, but his family is following the trend.
They follow the blueprint now. I want
to go back to what Brandon Smith said. He said it's hard to give up family, and I agree. But I wouldn't even say give them up. You just got to lead in a different way. You got to lead them in a different way. You got to lead in a different way. It may be leading from afar, and when they want to join on, then that's when like, hey, you give them a role to play within there, but they got to be willing to join on. I think where we mess up most of the time, we try to pull people along. You know what I'm saying? We try to pull. We invite them and say, "Hey, come on, man! It's sweet on this side. Come on." No. I think the people around Prime see, hey, he doing this. Like this is it, and it is not a convincing. It's like, hey, I can let me do right and get over here. You know what I mean? And then he put them in an environment to win. And if you mess it up, then you mess it up. Yeah. But I think we just have to lead differently.
Yeah, I mean, I think when people see the example, and obviously you have to have good discernment with that, because some
100%.
people
Yeah.
may show up, to want to be a part of,
but not really.
the journey, but not really actually bringing anything of value, to the table either. So, and hey, when he makes his statements, I think he means business when he says them. So it's super important that when you saying these are my standards, this is what I'm, what I'm living by per se, then you can't falter on that either. Otherwise, the people that are coming with you aren't going to fully believe in the journey. You know what I'm saying? So you actually have to be about what you talk about, in order for people to join in on the journey to the degree of which they are, especially, in business. If I say, I tell the team all the time, this has to be $1 million store. Well, I have to be holding them accountable to goals that makes us $1 million store. So if I see them, producing a ticket that doesn't fall inside of our average tickets, I gotta say something, and then when I'm writing tickets and it got my name on it, they gotta see that it holds to the standard of which I'm holding them to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be full circle in order for everybody to participate along the journey. I don't think this dude just out here saying I believe, and then when it's time to go to be coaching, he at the crib, you know what I'm saying, soaking in the jacuzzi, and when game time is, he's showing up. I don't think that that's what we're experiencing here. Like I said, these are real, qualities that he's been building for years consistently, you know what I'm saying, across the board. So I really think that, if we get in the habit of applying consistent principles, and then standing on a firm foundation of, like I'm talking about real solid standards.
Straight up.
Oh man, 10 years from now, I plan on us having our Dion era. You know what I'm saying? Because
I agree.
I don't think that this only works for him.
No,
is what I'm saying.
I think these are principles that are universal. That can
they
work
are
for
100% universal.
100%. I think he's just the prime example for it.
He is, but I don't want us to always get caught up either in watching the primetime show. Because we got a show out here that we're supposed to be producing too.
Come on now.
So it's important that we take, like I said, you pull the pieces that matter and don't just be caught up in watching primetime 7 days a week. You know what I'm saying? Now I'll catch me a 10, 15 minute, little video here or there, but I'm not gonna spend the whole day watching prime film.
And you ain't applying none of it to, you know what I'm saying?
I watched that 60-minute video, you know what I'm saying, and then I went and coached the mess out of that new boy over there. And he over here thinking I'm a full-time motivational speaker. No, I just watch prime time for 15 minutes.
Hey,
you get all of this.
Straight up.
Now it's time to put in this work.
Absolutely.
I'm like, I'm gonna watch prime, you know what I'm saying, on the first half of the morning, but when you get here, you might as well call me prime. We finna get it done.
That's
what I do. I'm just saying, don't be sitting here watching ESPN, you know what I'm saying, and the highlights all day long, every day. What are you taking from it and then putting in it? Don't
just get it just to be able to make a Facebook post and comment about it, you know what I'm saying, with somebody, or talk about it in the barbershop, type deal. Like, hey, what let's chew up the meat and spit out the bones. You know what I mean? Like let's get
Sunday was our, little rest day after we, traveled, got back home super late or whatever. And when we finally got up, I watched a couple of the highlights because I didn't see any of that game that lasted till 2:00 in the morning. I just couldn't. I only watched what we could.
It's about midnight.
Yeah, it's about midnight. And so I watched all the little highlights and stuff or whatever. Then I watched a couple of interviews, and then I zoned in on the man. You know what I'm saying? I zoned in on these qualities that I wanted to pick apart, pull apart, whatever. And I unleashed every last bit of it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Because, but that's what I'm saying.
Fueled up, man.
But I'm saying everybody else just geek because they want to talk about this at the barbershop. But they not going back home to their sons and walking down the sideline and putting their son on the inside and walking back down. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not applying that. You know what I'm saying? In real day, everyday life. They're just, like mesmerized, you know what I'm saying, by the situation. I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's a little captivating. It's a hero story and all that good stuff.
And everywhere you turn.
But I'm like, when you pick, whatever it is that you're going to watch, now what am I going to implement out of that? Because this guy is giving us an example.
He is. He really is. Because you can't, it's everywhere. Because you can't, you can't watch ESPN.
If they talking about him on the NFL.
They talk. It'd be a whole nother game plan, and they, talk about what Shador and Shiloh, and what I'm saying, the whole prime, everybody doing, like, man, I can't even name the one of the other coaches on their team.
Not a one.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's all
I didn't
prime.
know it was a Colorado State and or a Colorado University. I didn't know. I'm telling you right now, I don't know where the state is at on the map.
Yeah.
Didn't matter to me. All I knew was, okay, something special is happening here. Yeah. I'm just saying, when you get whatever you're gonna get from all of these things that you're watching from this guy, what are you going to apply? That's all I'm saying.
What are we gonna do with it?
What are you gonna put to work from it? Because it's okay, to indulge, what I'm saying, in the information and the excitement, but with a purpose. But with a purpose. Yeah, let's not miss out, what I'm saying, on the moment, being so captivated by what it is that we're seeing. There is some stuff that we can apply in everyday life. I'm just saying, put it out there, put it to work.
So what you're saying is this could be revolutionary, almost like how Martin Luther King was.
If that's what you want to do,
I'm just saying,
I ain't
like
calling the man Martin Luther.
No. I'm just saying how people was in and around Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? Like they were seeing this unfold, but not necessarily knowing that it would have the historical impact that it did as of today, right? Yeah. So we are here now, and this may be 10, 15, 20 years from now. And we're like, hey, when I was 38 years old when Prime was doing this. Like I went to a game where he coached, you know what I'm saying? That type thing, right?
Yeah, I would much rather look back at it and say, in 2023, I saw this and I did this, and here's the result.
Okay, I feel what you're saying. 100%.
I'm a part of the bandwagon for totally selfish reasons. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Well, I totally understand. I think
that's okay.
You can catch on the tailwind of this thing, and you can use this as your prime time.
Get what matters to you out of it. Not what matters to the ratings. Get what matters to you out of it.
100%.
If you go give them some ratings, then get it for a reason.
Then take notes.
Yeah.
And then go to work. Yeah. That's all I'm saying is this dude out here working while we watch.
And he getting paid.
And he getting paid. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm saying, same way as how we're, you know what I'm saying, we're doing right now. This is a prime example. We're reutilizing the content, right? That's already out there. We consume the content. Now we're having a conversation about the content. And yet it's still Facebook gonna pay us for the content. So I'm talking about what I'm talking about, but there's
that's just what it is.
But there's still an end result for that. You know what I'm saying? You get what you put into it. You know what I'm saying? But if you're just watching it just to consume, and you just on his payroll.
Don't be a consumer.
You just on his payroll. I'm saying this man is a great example for what you can do, not in just, in life, in parenthood and in business. Like this is a full circle type of situation. And so for us, I think it matters because it encompasses a lot of what we do. We're parents, we're married, we're in business, we enjoy what it is that we do, but we also enjoy, being compensated by it as well. And so it's super important, that we pick apart these pieces because he's doing it on a whole nother level. That we haven't accessed yet. 100%. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm trying to figure out now, how do I tap into that level of multiplication?
Because success leaves clues.
It leaves clues.
You know what I mean? So
and this man is not he ain't leaving nothing to chance. No,
we watching that unfold. It's up to us to be able to see it for what it really is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For what it really is, and be able to take that and apply it. But like I say, chew up the meat and spit out the bones.
Absolutely.
So
well, I think we have we've let the people know that it's about time for them to be the prime example as well. So, I say put to use what you've been consuming, man.
Yeah.
Let's see what that unfolds for you and, your family or your business, whatever it is that you're building and, and working towards. But I just say, don't just, consume this information. Don't be a part of the bandwagon just for the sake of it. But, literally take this guy's example, and utilize it in the best way possible in your life and, see where it lands for you.
Yeah, 100%. And if you can't utilize what you're consuming, then you should change what you're consuming.
I know that's for real. Then you ain't gonna just make $1 off of me, man. It's got to be mutually beneficial
It
in this
got
thing,
to be
man.
mutually beneficial.
Got
If
to be.
not, then it is a hustle.
That's what I'm talking about. AV
It's a
say the
hustle.
Carters are on it.
Already,
You know what I'm saying?
already.
I'm
No,
just saying,
Dante,
let's just make it all our prime time. Is all
Yeah.
I'm saying. He ain't got to be the only one.
Nah, man.
that's
I
experiencing
like
it.
what you said on that. Like, what prime effect are you gonna have? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, oh, we can be our own prime example, like for real. And
Yeah.
I think, you know, and I think back at I think about this family in the town that I grew up in. It's like if you be like, oh, this family owns that or they buying that, this, you know what I'm saying? But it's always the same family. It's the
Mhm.
hoods, right? They're like, hey, the hoods got that, the hoods buying that, they doing it. Like, yeah, I kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, that can be us, that can
Yeah.
be all of us, any of us, but that's an effect that they
Mhm.
have on it. You know what I'm saying? When somebody say, oh, you putting the business here, oh, we go build a whole subdivision around that particular business because you're doing it.
Mhm.
Right. And that's gonna make your property value go up or whatever it may be, right? That's economic scale.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, but we gotta be able to put ourselves in position to do things like that. And it can start very small. You know what I'm saying? Oh, your kid doing that? Bet my kid going over there. Cause I know if your kid doing it, you research it or you go make sure that it's right because y'all associated with it. Bet, let's do it. It starts with stuff like that. Oh, you going to church over there? I see how you lead your life. I'm gonna go to church over there. You know what I mean? That's that starts to be influence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That starts to be influence. And it's like, what and how are we influencing people that are around us?
Absolutely. Well,
that's it for me.
Yes, I think that's all we got tonight, folks. Y'all can it's Thursday night. Go enjoy y'all some football if you like. I'm gonna enjoy some rest for the rest of this night. Y'all send prayers up for these allergies to dissipate in the name of Jesus.
Absolutely.
So we thank y'all for hanging out with us yet another Thursday night, and we hope that you find a way to be a prime example in your life. So we will see you guys next week.
Be good.